Well, good morning, everyone. And once again, welcome to another live this morning, and hope you're having a great day. And we've got, I think there's going to be a two-part series on immunity. I think it's important that this is very, very appropriate for things to come. Good morning, John, and good morning, Nativity, and good morning, Marine, and Lise, and Mike from Wawa, Nick, and Dale. Good morning to you, Jeanette. Bonjour. Diane, good morning. Deb, nice to have you on with us this morning. From Timmins, Lori, Regina, Diane, Crystal, Alliston, Ontario, Beth, our birth, Beth, and hold on a minute here, Tamar, our Tamar. That's a biblical name, I love it. Rosa, Jeanette, good morning to you. Donna, Terry, and Beverly, appreciate you guys. Joy, you guys are great. Thanks for coming on. Jerry, Brunswick, Vonda, Bernice, Julie from Sturgeon, Pauline, and Coralie. Guys, we're gonna talk about something, and I'll say hello to the rest of you afterwards. Okay, let's go over something. The headline is, for me, is this, okay? Because there are a couple of new studies I want to bring out to you on immunity, your immune system. What a perfect time of the year to talk about it, right? Immunity, the flu, and COVID, and you name it. Your immune system, we're going to go over this. It's very, very important. Now, headline, and this is what I'm saying, it's my opinion, and I am going to give you why I think this, okay? Now, there are at least 5 major companies, pharmaceutical companies, that are literally racing towards a vaccine for COVID. At least 5 that I know of. They're in clinical trials. They're pushing ahead, and I don't blame them. 100%. If I was on the board of a pharmaceutical company, I'd be, man, let's get going. Let's work 24 hours a day. We got to get a vaccine out. Okay? Not only for to protect people from COVID, but 2, for our revenues. We better be in the game. This is going to be huge. The whole world has been affected by COVID. But my headline is this, okay? My headline is this. Now, you can argue with this, but I want to make a case for you, those watching, those listening. I'm making a case for you to do your own vaccine. Do it yourself. Now, let me tell you why the headline is the vaccine will not work. It will not get the intended benefits. And let me just say it. So let me make my case. Now, I showed you something months ago, that was probably one of the most significant stories in all of this COVID thing. Significant story, came out of the United Kingdom, and as far as I know, and I could be wrong, but as far as I know, I'm the only guy that in the main, I'm not mainstream media, but nobody in the mainstream media picked it up. None of my guru friends or colleagues that I saw talked about this. And I'm going to bring it up today because of another study that came out. Okay? And like I said, it might be a 2-part series or more. There's so much to speak about. Now, what was the headline? Months ago, coming out of the United Kingdom, that should have shocked the world. Here it is. In 2017, 2018, United Kingdom, they came up with the actual answer as to what the flu shot is, at the best of years, about 40% effective rate. Those are the good years. Last year, again, no exception, it was the flu shot for 2019 and early 2020 in the flu season was effective 40% of the time in North America. Apparently in the United Kingdom, it was less than that. But, some doctors, I saw Dr. Oz saying, well, 40% is better than 0%. Hey, when I got 40% in school, I flunked. Didn't you? 40 didn't get it. 40%. That's failure. But remember, United Kingdom said, headlines, the flu shot doesn't work if a person is obese. It doesn't work. 88% of the population have some form of metabolic syndrome. 88% in North America. Almost 90%. That messes up your immune system. We talked about obesity. And somebody said to me, well, what's obesity? Obesity is when you got a belly. You can have skinny legs and be obese because you got all your fat in the wrong places. It's coming off the liver into the gut. If you have that, it's saying, okay, I didn't say this. Headlines in the United Kingdom said it. If you have that, your immune system, the flu shot doesn't work. What we're going to get is a vaccine. And folks, listen to me. Please, don't misunderstand what I'm saying. I think I said it to you last week. I will take a vaccine. I will. I'll put my hand up. I will take a vaccine if I need to in order to travel, in order to get the economy going, if that's what they're waiting for, to get the economy going. And apparently, I heard this in New Zealand, and this could be coming to a theater near you. Is that in New Zealand they're saying if you do not take the vaccine when it comes, they're going to put you in COVID camps until you agree to take the vaccine. Now, never in the history of vaccines, as far as I know. Have they ever mandated where you have no choice? Now, I'm not saying that's necessarily going to happen in North America. I'm not saying that. I don't know. But I got a sneaky suspicion that once the FDA and Health Canada approve a vaccine for COVID, they might, I don't know, they might make it mandatory. You don't get it, you're not a member of society. But guys, that's politics. It's very important, but I'm not going to go there. I don't want to. I'm telling you, I will take the vaccine if it means I can't get on a plane without it. Now, you might say, I'm not doing that. Well, I am. Okay, I'm just telling you. Whether it's effective or not, that's not the point. For me. Now, like I said, let's put this aside for a minute. That's not my concern is you. My concern is you. My concern is to get you. Get your immune system prepared. That's what I want. I want you as an individual, and this is very doable. I want to talk about what will suppress your immune system. A lot of it, of course, is repetition. And I want to talk about what will give you a natural vaccine. And one of the studies that came out showed that if you got COVID, you got about a 6-month window of immunity. That's the newest study. See, one thing about this virus, they didn't know much about, it was, like all viruses, we know a fair amount, but we don't know everything. And this, there was a lot of things they just didn't know. So I give lots of grace to the government. I thought they overreacted, but I give them lots of grace. I can't question their motives. I don't know what's in their heart. I think they've made a big mistake. I've talked about that. They've forgotten seniors. They've isolated them. To me, that is Chinese torture for senior citizens. Loneliness is more dangerous to a senior. You want to suppress your immune system? Loneliness. Yeah. Because when you're lonely, you're elevating your cortisol. And when your cortisol goes up, your immune system goes down. So let's talk about that, number one. Cortisol, think of what it is. Ooh, you're uptight. You're lonely. For a lot of people, that's really, because we're used to each other. We need each other. I've talked about this so many times. See this face? I'm a people person. I love people. I do. Even though I think some people are weird. I'm a people guy. I need people. Some people, they're all right. They can be on their own. But you know what? Everybody needs people, family, friends, right? Nah, the unintended, I talked to you about this, the unintended consequences. And finally, there was a study that, or at least a letter. Let me just see if I can find it. I think I actually tweeted about it. Hold on. See if I can get my tweets. Oh, I retweeted and replied. Oh, yeah. Here it is. I have written to the mayor, and this is Dr. Vera Etches in Ottawa, an infectious disease doctor, a public health official. I have written to the mayor describing the need for a new approach to the pandemic response for the sake of the population's health. I'm quoting her. We need to be learning to live with COVID, to coexist with COVID, with caution. Here's my response. I tweeted it at 55 minutes ago. Okay. Holy moly, I said. Finally, some repentance from public health officials. Maybe the virus isn't the only thing to worry about. What took you so long? I tweeted back to Dr. Vera Etches. Holy moly. Hello? It's about stinking time. You know, maybe we need a new approach to the pandemic response. Okay. So one of the number one things that will affect your immune system is your cortisol, your stress hormone. Cortisol is a diversion to your immune system. If you're thinking of fight or flight. If you're lonely, if you're uptight, if you're worried. Can you imagine a senior that hasn't seen their family? Well, they're showing this in kids. And you know, there's still some schools that are not open yet. Kids need structure. Kids need each other. Never mind them wearing a mask. I don't like that for kids. They don't need one. But this is not good for them. They need activity. They need sport. You know, they were talking about canceling. Like, I talked to my sister yesterday in the Toronto area, and they canceled Halloween. Kids need. Now, they don't need to eat all that junk for Halloween, but they need normal. They need reality normal. This is not good for them. I was screaming at the top of my lungs from the day one about kids. Virus doesn't affect the kids. And the kids don't even transmit the virus. They don't. Oh, I know somebody, a little kid in Texas that got COVID. Who cares? I mean it. So, but not only kids, seniors, cortisol. It's a stress hormone. It's meant to get you ready for the fight or flight. And if you scare me or punch me or chasing me, I get it. That's cortisol. But you better turn that off, or otherwise it's a diversion to your immune system. Absolutely suppresses the immune system. You don't want to lock a person up. I hope this isn't our new normal forever, wearing masks and not being able to let's limit our gatherings. Honestly, for heaven's sakes. And some public health officials are finally saying it. We have to learn to live with the virus. Hallelujah. Praise God. Somebody is getting some common sense back in their noggin. We have to learn to live with the virus. And of course, she's a public health official, an infectious type of person, a doctor. So guess what they say? With caution. What do we do during the flu season? Do we shut everything down? By the way, where's the flu gone? It's November. December's a coming. January's a coming. February's a coming. The dark months are here. Where's the flu? Anyway, so all I'm saying, guys, what will decrease your immunity? If the vaccine is going to be 40% effective, like the flu shot, and anybody that's in that, they have that, like the United Kingdom says, obesity. So I've already touched on a couple of things. Cortisol, obviously your diet. You can change your immunity rapidly. Rapidly. By changing your diet. Rapidly. Get your immune system supercharged. With a change. This is why I'm so big on cutting out, cut out your sugar. I was on in the Facebook group yesterday, our private group, and there's a lady in there yesterday just saying, well, I find the reset so difficult. Of course. My name is Tony and I'm a carbaholic. If you're a carbaholic and a sugarholic, it's not easy. It's simple, but not easy. But look what it's going to do for you. Too many people get focused in on weight loss, and I'm not against weight loss. Of course. I've written more on weight loss than anybody else that you know, I think, over the years. I know all about weight loss. I lost 40 pounds when I was in high school. I did. I cut out sugar. In grade 13. I did. I've never gone back to it. That was in 1969, 68, 69. I made it a habit. Don't bring me a Pepsi. I couldn't drink it if my life depended on it. Don't put sugar in my coffee. I couldn't drink it if my life depended on it. Change your diet, change your immune system. Sugar suppresses your immune system. It's been proven 1,000,000 times over. When you put sugar into your body, you're telling your T cells, those Navy SEALs of your immune system, that are out fighting bacteria, they're out fighting viruses, they're out fighting cancer, they're out fighting parasites. You put sugar in your body, you know what you're doing? You're putting those T cells to sleep. You just took, oh, doc, but I gotta have sugar. I can't have a coffee without sugar. I just understand what it's doing. It's suppressing your immune system. I'm sorry. The facts are in. So the headline, why the vaccine won't work. For the vast majority of people, it won't work. I'm convinced of it. I'm not saying again not to take it. Don't get me wrong. Don't misquote me. Because that's what you will do if you say Dr. Martin doesn't want the vaccine to come. I'm not saying that. I'm just telling you the reality is this. Because of the way the population eats, the way the population is stressed, the vaccine can't overcome that. The vaccine cannot overcome a bad diet. I'm sorry, it can't. So, it's important that we understand that. That's all. So all I'm saying is, what is healthcare? Self-care. You like that? What is healthcare? True healthcare is self-care. Guys, you can't influence anybody else until you do it yourself. My dad had a huge influence on me in a lot of ways. One of the biggest ways was food. I watched my dad change his diet right before my eyeballs. He did it. What training to get that even before going to school? Even before getting my PhD in nutrition. I knew all of that. I knew how to treat diabetes before I went to school. There was diet. It wasn't medication. It was diet. There you go. Okay. I only got to a couple of points, but we're going to talk about this. Suppressing the immune system. The headline. Why the vaccine won't be as effective as it should be. It just won't be. Because unfortunately, public health officials like Dr. Let me get her name again. And God bless her for saying it. Dr. Vera Etches. E-T-C-H-E-S. God bless you, Dr. Etches, for coming out of the closet and saying, for the sake of the population's health, we need to learn to live with COVID and coexist with it like all other viruses. If you think we're going to get rid of all viruses, you are completely mistaken. 100%. And that is what has happened. We are so focused on a virus and the media 24 hours a day. Scared. Fear. It's good for their ratings. But I have never been scared, personally, of this virus or any other virus. I'm not. I believe in immunity. I believe in taking care of yourself, in immunity. Does that mean you'll never get sick? Of course not. But you put everything on your side. Now, I only talked to you a couple of factors this morning. I'm going to talk to you about some more. But I just wanted to give you the overarching story. Not to rely on the vaccine. Not to rely on it primarily. That's what I meant. Okay? And I'm giving you info. That's all. I'm going to be giving you information. Information. Education provides what? Choices. Choices. And I'm preaching to the choir, and I know it. That's why I have so much respect for you. You know, you don't have to take my word for it. I was reading this morning in the Bible. You know what? There was a verse there that I saw, and it, you know, I memorized this years ago, but it said, study to show thyself approved. Study. Okay, study. And that's what you guys are doing. You're studying. You're taking what I say, and you look at it, and everybody's asking questions, and you're educating yourself in the field of nutrition. I always say this. Let me close with this. You guys know 99%. You guys know more about nutrition than 99, I mean it, percent of the doctors in this world. 99% couldn't tell you about the consequences of bad nutrition. They wouldn't know good nutrition if it slapped them in the face. They don't. Imagine going to medical school and learning nothing about nutrition. Other than, I know what the macros are, you know, fat, protein, and carbs. And you better eat lots of all three. No fat. That's what they're taught. That's it. Cut out the fat, eat lots of carbs, because your body needs carbohydrates, and not too much protein, because it'll damage your kidneys. Ooh. You want to get me worked up? Tell me about, the lack of study in nutrition. Oh, it drives me mental. Okay, guys. Enough for today, okay? Love you guys. I really do. I appreciate it. Putting up with me. If you have any questions, get them ready for Friday, question and answer Friday. And talk to you soon.